and get us public. Here we go. Oh, there. We got
This should be live.
This should be live. We got to hit the live button sooner. I don't know why I even like wait. Like the catching up is the best part. Here we go.
I don't like to talk unless it's recorded.
Yeah, let's get all the gross stuff out there. So for all you tuning in now that we're live, my wife is out of town and we got a stomach bug rolling through the house. And my 2-year-old literally came up to me. Like this was as we were making tacos. I was like chopping veggies. And he's like, I couldn't really tell what he's saying, but he's saying some tummy. Like I heard tummy and he's like touching his belly. And Reggie's laying on the couch, not feeling good. I was feeling like shit this weekend, but I'm on the upswing. My 8-year-old's kind of on the upswing, but now the 6 and the 2-year-old, like the worst two, right? It'd be one thing if I was feeling bad or if the 8-year-old was feeling bad, but like the younger they get when they're feeling bad as the parent, like you're just on standby. There's just like nothing you can do. But everybody ate dinner. I make the best tacos in the world. I make the best. I mean, that's a lie because I'm not Mexican.
Like why? Like because you use McCormick and you put like more seasoning on than most or less water or what?
No, I make tac doughs for one because it's venison, so it's tac doughs. So we know where that meat came from. Some real shit. It's tac doughs. Not to be confused with when I make enchilados. But tonight we were having tac doughs. And and you know how like if you go to Chipotle and you order your classic burrito, that's like the thing is busting at the seams. At least when I do it, it's like I want all the things. Put them all on there, and you can see like the person that's about to roll it, just like their eyes get a little bigger and the sweat starts beating down their forehead. They get stressed out when plot is coming through the line. And so when I'm making tacos at home, I just know better. I crunch up a bunch of tortilla chips and just turn that bitch right into a taco salad because that's what it's going to end up as anyway. There's no way there's no burrito that could contain the size of my style of tacos. We go, so like this is a taco pro tip, especially if you're trying to sneak some veggies past your kids. In your meat, put mushrooms and onions. Slide some mushrooms and onions right in there and then add like another half a packet of taco seasoning or make your own taco seasoning if you're into that sort of thing. But then you get like mushrooms and onions right in there, but it just tastes like taco meat. So nobody pays any attention to the fact that you got some veg going on in there. And then you throw that on some tortilla chips, corn, cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers. Most people don't put cucumbers, but you would on a salad. You might as well throw it on a taco salad. Some avocado, some tomatoes, some peppers. Tonight, I think we had an orange pepper.
Is this a cooking show? I thought this was a drinking show.
Cooking and drinking.
Happening? Where are we?
Cooking and drinking. Yeah, this is the home service happy hour. This is how we do happy hour. Which
I didn't know.
That's why I got tequila in here. That's why I got tequila in this cup tonight.
You mentioned the taco dough. I've never actually heard of that, but then you said burrito, and I was like, burrito? Like, is everything? I mean, and you could put a dough in anything these days, you know?
It's hard to do with spaghetti. There's not a good spot to put dough in. Spaghetto. Yeah, I guess you could just cut the eddy off.
No, we have ground beef and spaghetti all the time.
Yeah, it's just hard to put a deer word into it. But spaghetto is probably your best shot.
Spaghetto. Hey, spaghetto.
It's like SpaghettiOs, but spaghetto.
Spaghettios.
I had a guy at church. Spaghetti dough.
At church, we have like men's group. Like we have like everyone together and then like let's separate the men and the women type thing. And it's like normally, like, does anyone have any announcements? And people are like, yeah, pray for Mrs. Smith. And we're putting together a service project. And then this guy's like, yeah, going hunting this weekend. So if anyone wants me to pop a doe for him, just let me know. I was like, this guy.
What? And you were like, are you related to Dan?
I know. I didn't know you yet. This was literally like probably 10, 12 years ago. And Lindsay and I still joke around like, hey, you want me to pop a doe? And then now I know you and I'm like, man, you guys would be like such good friends.
Yeah. Like I thought this guy was a super weirdo, but now I know this other weirdo, but I know him a little bit better. And so maybe this other guy wasn't as weird.
Yeah, because it was funny for a lot of different reasons. But then we had this restaurant called Papa Dough, like it's spelled like French dough, Deaux,
Yeah, they spell
Papa
it wrong.
Doughs.
Yeah, they spell it wrong.
So I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like was he talking about Papa Dough or Papa Dough?
Papa Dough.
I'm pretty sure it was.
You want me to take you out to eat? You want me to bring you back some venison? Either way, I'm in. That's my charitable donation. trying to be rude.
Have you ever made that offer for anyone? Like, hey, you want me to pop a doe for you?
We actually do shoot a doe, usually like one every year for one of the guys that we own actually, I just bought him out of our land. Like my dad owned land with him. We bought him out of the land, specifically me, but he just got to the point he had diabetes. And so it wasn't feasible for him to go out hunting. So like every year we pop him a doe. True story.
So do you guys pop a doe or you shoot a doe? Or do you catch a
difference?
doe?
What's the difference?
What's the difference? I don't know. I used to go hunting in high school, and my friends, I'd get back and they're like, "So did you catch anything?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we had this net," and then I jumped on him, and I was just like riding him.
Here we're going for a ride, girl. Here we go. Yeah, I bag them. I usually bag them. Like I got this canvas sack. And I do a thing where I tap them on this shoulder, and then I sneak around to the other side.
So smart. Yeah.
Use the old
joke's on you.
Yeah. Jeremy says, looking forward to some enchiladas next week. I got folks coming in ice fishing next week. And Jeremy,
that's it. This is the trip, huh?
Yeah, this is the annual trip. I think we got 12 of us going up. And I was just realizing, like, I was thinking about doing enchiladas, but I don't know if that'll be enough food for 12 dudes, because everybody takes 2 of them. You eat one and you're like, that ain't enough. And so I'm like gauging, I got to do some math on if my oven can do and my pans can do enough, because I can do 20, but if there's 12 guys, I need 24. I don't want.
You're a numbers guy. I'm pretty sure you can do the math.
I don't want 4 people. Well, my worry is like I can get 10 in a pan, but we need 24 of them. It's gonna be close.
Yeah, it depends on who they are. If I was there, I would probably just eat one. I'm not like a big eater, but I won't be there. So like, don't count me.
You don't count. You don't count in the count.
You're like,
yeah.
You like someone only gets one.
But here's the thing: like when you're making that sort of thing, you always want to make sure that there's enough where people could have a second one, right? It's easier to have too many, but it sucks if it's like there's one sitting there and everybody's avoiding the last one because they don't want to be the dude that took the last one. I want to see like 3 of them sitting there, and then I know nobody went like and didn't get the extra one that they wanted. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, you're right. If it's one, they're like, I ain't gonna do it. Like, I'm not gonna be that guy.
Nobody's taking that last one.
Get some filling. Get some rice, the beans, the chips, some salsa, some guac. Get some filler.
We'll have it all.
Dude, that's awesome. I've seen your stuff.
20,
it looks like
20 will work. I'll be so full of beer anyway. Dude, you're gonna like between the Coronas and the lime, you're gonna be just sick of this place. My worry with Jeremy is like he's totally a Corona guy, but beer when it's transported a farther distance doesn't taste the same. He lives in San Diego. He gets like the freshest Corona. By the time it gets to Minnesota, my worry is he's gonna have it and be like, what is this donkey piss? Like I'm worried
it turns into like, yeah.
Like I know Heineken does that. Like when they ship Heineken to the US, it tastes like shit. But if you have Heineken over in Amsterdam, it is liquid gold. It's so freaking good. I have heard, I have no proof of this, but I have heard that with Heineken specifically, and I think Amstel does this too, they actually like intentionally skunk it before they ship it just to make it consistent. They make it consistently kind of not taste that great. But at least then if people are buying it here, they're going to get it the same every time instead of like one time good and one time bad. The worst beer I've ever had, and I don't dislike Amstel Light, but the worst beer I ever had was Amstel Light in college. Like ordered it at a bar only because we were going through their entire list of beer. This isn't going to surprise you at all, by the way. My buddy and I had this mission in one semester that this bar that had tons of beers on tap and tons of beers in bottles, we were going to go through the entire darn list. And we had it on paper, and we were checking the damn thing off. And
nice.
it even caused us to drink a Smirnoff Ice or 2 because that was also on the list. And so,
were you ranking them intentionally, or you just remember the shittiest one?
We didn't rank them at all, but that one stood out as like I can't believe we're going to drink the rest of this thing. But we made a deal that we're just drinking a full bottle or full whatever of any beer or alcoholic beverage, malt beverage that they got listed here, whether we like it or not. It is our duty for this semester. And we did it, and it was the worst beer ever. But I had Amstel when I was over in Amsterdam in college. Freaking delicious. So just skunky. So Jeremy, if the Corona here sucks, that's on you. I will have plenty of limes. You can put a lime in your Busch Light. It tastes the same. You won't even notice that it's not a Corona.
You can do that, huh?
You can put a lime in anything. You can milk anything with nipples.
Yeah. I'll remember that tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Rob says he's coming hungry.
Rob,
Joe
yeah,
said,
you know what? Rob's one of those guys you need probably 3 enchiladas for. I could see him tearing
like
through.
probably at least a 2.5-er. And he knows he
Yeah.
was here last year for the enchilados, and he's the one that specifically was like, "You better make enchilados," because I threw out, "How about I make some taco doughs?" It's easier to scale taco doughs. Ground meat
Oh, much easier.
is a way easier thing to scale, but Rob was like, "No, dude, enchilados," and I'm like, "Well, we'll see how much." Joe, in regards to Jeremy, said, "My word is he only owns flip flops." Joe. In defense of that, I sent out links to boots to buy. So if Jeremy doesn't have the boots, that's his own fault for being cheap. They're like $50. I know he can buy that. I do his books. I know he can afford a $50 pair of boots, but also I have some extra pairs of boots. So either way, we got them covered.
Well, no, but you guys are in those nice, like, portable cabin things. Like, I think he can be in flip flops in that, can he?
Yeah, it's just going out to take a leak. Is really the only that's what Jeremy's got to combat is when he goes.
That's why you have to get the nice boots.
Yeah, you want boots to be able to go out and take a leak. And I liked making the California boys bank the fish house. Like, give them a damn shovel, give them some physical work to do. They got to earn their beers, you know. So I'll bring a few shovels, make those California boys earn their keep, bank the fish house in. That's the way to go. Jeremy did say, I bought some boots. Jeremy, those boots, the ones that I put the link in, those will be perfect out on a boat. Like when I was in San Diego fishing in May, it was cold as shit. Those boots would have been perfect. They're waterproof. They're high. You've been happy as a clam.
They're not just to take a piss on ice, you know.
But you could pee on them, and they're fully waterproof. They'd be great. And he said he's bringing sandals as well. I'm a big fan of slippers in the fish house. You want like slippers. That's the way to go.
Yeah, I feel like you'd want it. Like, I want to see some video of Jeremy fishing in flip flops. That would be cool.
Out on the ice, grabbing a tip up in flip flops. That would be pretty badass.
He's got his Corona with a lime. Bud Light with a lime.
I had a acquaintance in college in Wisconsin. We had this University of Wisconsin Eau Claire. You can look it up. It actually made Dave Letterman's like top 10 places of the coldest places on earth. We had a bridge across the Chippewa River at UW Eau Claire, just a footbridge, like only for walking. And you had to walk across that shit all winter, back and forth. I mean, it was like a few 100 yards long, and the wind's whipping down there, like just on the river bend where the wind would crush you. And man, it didn't matter if it was 20 below out and 40 below wind chills. Freaking God, what was his name? Kenny Dungar. Kenny, that was his name. That boy, flip flops every day, no matter what. In the foot of snow, flip flops. It's bonkers. I don't know what point he was trying to prove, but I thought it was badass.
Yeah, it's badass. He's just proven that he can.
That he has no circulation in his toes.
Yeah.
That's the only logical explanation. I bet, you know how like when you're really hot and then you walk into anything that's like room temp, it feels super cold. Like even if it's 70 degrees in air conditioning, but it's 100 outside and you walk in, you're like, damn, it's chilly in here. Or vice versa. If you're in really cold and you walk into anything, even if it's like 50 degrees, but you were just outside in the really cold and you get that immediate
like
warm up. Yeah. My guess is that boy got to class and his feet were just on fire. I bet his feet felt like they were 1 billion degrees after walking in snow and flip flops.
I don't know. I think I can just relate with him. My feet are always hot, so I kind of want to just walk around. Like when it's cold outside, I'm like, I like my kids will find me standing in the backyard. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, cooling down my feet. What does it look like I'm doing?
Oh hell yeah!
Back off.
Put them in the snow. Just like I just picture you like stepping on a pile of snow and like steam coming off. It's like, geez.
Of course,
yeah.
Melts right through.
Mm-hmm. Rob says, "Do I need to bring my Birkenstocks?" For sure, but I would wear in the fish house. I'd wear socks with them, which with Birkenstocks you would probably do anyway.
I was like, why? Is there another way?
Yeah, just own it. Jeremy said it will happen. He's going out in the flip flops to grab a tip up. Anyway, Ryan Lee, what the hell you got going on, man? How you doing? Thanks for coming on the show. Somehow we're 15 minutes in already, and we didn't even introduce our guest yet.
Oh, I thought the show was over. I thought that was it.
And we're done here. Ryan Lee, thanks for hanging out. Glad to have you.
See everybody.
It's happy hour, man. It's happy hour.
Exactly.
How the hell you
I need
doing?
to come on here more often.
You do need to come on here more often. Let's make that happen. And you missed the radio show. Are you on my perpetual invite for the radio show now? I think I added.
Yeah, it's kind of nice because now I have like an hour, like once a week, where I can just do whatever I want.
Yeah, it's blocked off, so nobody can book you for anything.
Yeah, no one can book with me.
We added a new segment today. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so you got to go around and you got to give your good, bad, and ugly. And so because it's a radio show, I'm working on a segment list for that one. I feel like segments is the way to go.
They love the segments in the radio. Love it.
Rob says, "You mean we are live now?" Maybe.
I thought we were just getting like catching up, and then we're gonna hit the live button, but we did that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is how it goes. Yeah, we started to catch up, and I was like, "Oh no, we should just be live catching up."
Can you imagine like someone who doesn't know you is listening? Like, I wonder when he's gonna find out he's live right now.
Yeah. What is the show anyway? What are we doing here? Anyway, everybody, welcome to Home Servers Happy Hour. It's Wednesday night. I missed the last 2 Wednesdays, so maybe I'm just on a high of getting back to doing a late night show. I had one guy rescheduled, and the next week I was on the airplane. I was actually 3 in a row. I was supposed to do one last night, and my guest got gasoline in his eye right before we were about to go live. Like, was messing with his pressure washers and got one in the eyeball. So we had to reschedule that one. So this is like the Phoenix episode. We're rising from the ashes. We're coming back. We got to do some late night stuff, and we got the perfect guy to do it. We got the lighting expert himself to bring the light and bring us back from glory.
Yes.
Back to glory, not back from glory. We weren't glorious before, but we're trying to be now. I got to get that right. I don't want to set a false expectation. Ryan, do you give us, we got to do this for folks that catch up later, for folks that catch the podcast or are jumping on and are like, who the hell's this Ryan Lee guy? Which I don't think there is anybody out there. I'm assuming everybody knows who the hell Ryan Lee is, but there's one weirdo out there who's gonna be like, who?
Loser.
And yeah, but we should still keep, super loser. But we should still give him an update. Give us a little chronology of how the hell you got into lighting, landscape lighting in particular. When that turned into landscape lighting secrets and kind of the trajectory it's on now, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I mean, approximately 44 years and 9 months ago, my parents had sex, and then I was born.
You just turned 44? Like your birthday just happened now?
Oh wait, maybe I don't know math. I forgot that you're a numbers
Was it
guy.
45 years and 6 months ago? Maybe.
Damn it, I don't know.
Are you almost 45 years old?
Yes.
So yeah, it was like 45 years.
Actually, next month, so 11 months.
Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there.
This is going to require.
Are you? Do you know when your birthday is?
Anyway, yeah. I here's my bio. I help people make millions of dollars with outdoor lighting.
Boom. The end. Mic drop. I did on the birthday thing though. No lie. When I was in the corporate world, this isn't going to surprise you at all. Besides my rally outfit, because I had to wear business casual clothes every day. I had a rally outfit at month end in the accounting department where I wore all black, white belt, white shoes, white hat, rally outfit. And people would walk by and be like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" And like some people would be like, "What are you wearing?" I'd be like, "Rally outfit, baby." And they'd look at me and be like, "I'm an accounting man. It's month end. Let's fucking go." And they would just be like, "All right, dude." But that was one of the weird things that I would do. The other weird thing I would do is whenever we celebrated birthdays, I would bring up the conception just to make everybody really uncomfortable. I would celebrate. I'd be like, "Yeah, birthdays are okay. I'm way more about celebrating conception. That's what I believe in."
Yeah, I'm still hung up on that. I can't figure out when I was conceived now because it's a month from now, but then I'll be 45 in a month.
Okay,
so can you do the math?
Yeah, so if you're going to be 45 in a month, then you basically got to add 8 months on top of that because that would be 1.
Okay, yes.
9 minus 1. So 45 years and 8 months ago, you were conceived.
Thank you.
To do that. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the first time I've actually ever thought about it. So
Congrats.
It is weird.
It's not comfortable. Ways. Yeah, it's absolutely not comfortable at all to think about.
Yeah.
So which is why I like to bring it up.
Yeah, that is weird. So that's me. And yeah,
you brought it. In my defense, you brought it up. I'm just finishing your thought.
Thank you. No,
Yeah.
I do appreciate that. I'm really bad at math. So yeah, I started a lighting business in 2007. The first 2 years were awesome. You didn't make a ton of money, but I was like, I'm an entrepreneur, so it doesn't matter. At least I don't have a job like my friends.
Did you start lighting because it was something that just like tripped an interest, or how, like why lighting, and were you doing something before that you like that led you to that? Were you in the corporate world? Were you coming out of
That's
school, or
important.
what was the thing that was like, I'm gonna go put some lights in somewhere?
Well, so when this goes back like 5, 6 years before that, I was trying to get enough money to get married, and I was
Because
not.
you were working on conception. You were thinking
We were doing it. We were doing things.
You were thinking about conception.
And I was like, man, this conception thing might cost a lot of money. So literally, dude, Dan, this was before like I literally looked in the yellow pages. I thought I invented the window cleaning industry. I literally did. You know, at the gas station where they got the squeegees?
Yeah.
I had heard of people like cleaning windows, but I didn't know what that was. So I looked in the yellow pages for cleaning store. I went down to State Street. There's a cleaning, it's called like a cleaning store. And I go in, I go, do you have those like squeegees, at the gas station? They're like, well, why? And I'm like, well, because I want to clean windows. And like, what kind of windows? I'm like, for houses, you idiot. And he goes, oh, well, come over here. And they're like, there's a whole aisle with like scrapers, squeegees, holsters, like, and I'm like, they have this? And he's like,
somebody does this?
You just buy it. So
shit, I'm too late. I thought I was the first one.
I thought I invented like steak strips, like chicken strips, but steak. Like I think I've invented everything, and then the next day I find out about it. It's crazy.
It is weird how that works. I once invented French toast cereal, and I swear to God, like a month later, somebody came out with a French toast cereal, and I was like, damn it. I was too late to the game.
I know. I invent all sorts of shit. It was invented usually decades before,
I got one. I think I'm going to be the first one to figure this out. I've been working on it since college. Shoes you don't have to wear. Nobody's invented that yet. Like, you get all the comfort, you get all the feel, you get all the, if it's like rubber, you get all the waterproof abilities in the steel toe. You can get steel toe, but you didn't have to wear them. They'd be like holographic, but they still have all the
You don't have to wear them. Like, I'm imagining me wearing those right now. Do I have them?
If you want to. I'm not. That's the part I can't quite figure out. But like, nobody's invented it yet, so I think until somebody does.
No, you have invented it because I'm already wearing them right now.
Oh, boom!
Like,
you want to just Venmo me? Yeah, can you just? I think I might have those same socks on, as you son of a gun.
No, but I'm wearing my shoes.
Oh yeah, I could barely. Yeah, you're right.
What
I wonder where mine are. For just $275 a pair. So I'll just send you my Venmo QR code thingy.
Yeah. Well, so we clean windows. That was kind of, and I had done stuff before to make money, like shovel walks and stuff like that. And I really loved it. I made some decent money, and it was fun, like knocking doors, meeting people. We made some money to get married, but that was like, I didn't know how to be an entrepreneur. So I went to school, I got my marketing degree, got my MBA. The whole time throughout this experience, throughout my MBA, especially, I told my brother, he kind of had a rough start to life here in Utah. Had some felonies come to pass, and then he moved to Texas.
That toughens up your skin a little bit. Toughens up your skin that way.
Yeah, he was. My mom loved it. Yeah, she loved the felonies.
Moms love that sort of thing. They love lessons the hard way.
So he had moved to Texas. I said, dude, you should do windows out there. They have bigger houses and more money. And I was cleaning like windows for like $3 a window and 11 windows on a house, making $33, thinking, dude, I'm gonna be rich.
Look at me go.
He was doing 50 window houses, charging like $5-6 a window. And I was like, heck yeah. So the idea was actually this: when I graduated, I said, let me move down to Texas. My wife and I, we just had our first daughter, and we were going to move down there and blow up this window cleaning business. Cause he was like MacGyver, like he can figure shit out, but he's not a business guy. He would just be like solo entrepreneur.
He sounds like a felon. That's Ben. That's my buddy Ben Smith to a
Ben.
Like, that's totally Ben. Stole like felony, stole a Bobcat, and I got a visitor. What's up, Danny? You can't hear anything because you don't have a set of headphones. You can talk though. The microphone will hear you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, girl.
You not tired? Okay, we'll go lay in bed anyway.
So go back to sleep now.
Hold on. Here, let's see.
All right, I'm going to keep telling you the story, Dan.
Yeah, you keep going. Let me see.
Yeah, get the headphones on. She can.
Yeah, let's see, Danny. I don't know.
So anyway, I told him, you should do this window clean, and he was doing well. He's making like 150 grand a year, but not good enough to like scale the business. And the plan was to scale a lighting business, or I'm sorry, a window cleaning business. And I moved down, or we went down there to buy a house. Like, hey, let's go find a house. We actually bought a house while we were down there, and we were in his hot tub, kind of celebrating. And he had told me he did Christmas lights, but honestly, Dan, I was like, people don't pay for Christmas lights. You're a
Nobody would
moron.
pay for that. That's stupid.
What is that? Yeah. And because I had put up Christmas lights on my house. It was the little mini lights. I put them in my gutters like that. I had like a 20-foot thing. And I was like,
oh yeah.
Why
and
would
then the next strand is like slightly different bulb, different spacing, different bulbs. Looks great. Looks great.
I don't even know I couldn't afford a next strand. There was just one.
Yeah.
So he told me that, and then he goes, yeah, we did these landscape lighting jobs. We did 2 of them. They were $4,000 each. When you get down here, we should look at that. And I was like, landscape lighting? What is that? Like someone paid you money to put lights on their house? And that's a lot of money, $4,000. Are you crazy? And he tells me about it. I go, dude, if this is the truth, which I didn't really believe, let's start a lighting business instead of a window cleaning business, so I can do $4,000 jobs instead of $250 jobs. Like, I'd rather sell that. And he goes, okay, let's do it. So we literally like pivoted right then to be like, we're going to be outdoor lighting guys. He knew more than I did at the time, but that was how we got into it.
MacGyver. How did he install those first couple jobs? So like,
dude, this is crazy. So he was at like the supply house buying Christmas lights, and this guy who was his name's John. Gosh, what's his name? I'll think of his name. Maybe his
name was John.
It was John, and he had a last name.
It was John as well. It was John.
Oh no, this is why it's funny, because he has 2 first names. It's John George. His name is John George.
I was close then. I was close with the John.
John. Yeah, that's what inspired me. Yeah. So John George goes, dude, you'd be a great like landscape lighting guy. And he's like, what's that? Blah, blah, blah. So he decides, he goes, okay.
Your brother was about as stunned as you were when you went to invent window cleaning, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of stuff. Like, what? People are out there doing this?
So he decides, he actually got a quote. He wanted to learn like how to do it and how to price it and all this. So he got a quote from a local company. They came out and said it's going to be, $6,000 or whatever. And he's like, okay, well, I'm not going to pay them that. So he went to John George and said, hey, help me do it. And the guy comes over and he goes, you need a path light here. You need a spotlight here. He helped him kind of figure out what to do and showed him how to install it. He installed the lights on his own house. And then he told a couple clients that were window cleaning clients and said, hey, I can come and set up a demo for you and show you what it would look like. Well, they took him up on that offer. He cut the lights out of his house. Okay. Because he doesn't have enough money to go buy a demo kit. So he cuts the lights out of his house, takes them over, sets up the temporary lights to show his customer what it would look like. They go, looks great. When can you do it? Sells the $4,000 job.
Yeah.
And then now he has a demo kit. But now he doesn't have lights at his house. So he used his lights for a demo kit and then, sold those 2 jobs and just kind of started that way.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
I didn't know that part of the story. That's freaking hilarious.
I know. It's awesome. And then when I moved down there, I was like, well, I should probably do lights at my house. And dude, I'm not kidding. I didn't have much money. So just the materials were like $1,500. And I'm like, gosh, this is an expensive business to start. I got to buy $1,500 worth of lights. And obviously you didn't have to pay labor because I was installing it. But we put out the lights. We installed the $1,500 worth of lights, install it in my house. And I lived in like a DR Horton neighborhood. Like every house just was like 5 different models and you just they're all the same. Yep. And I'm out there looking at it at night, like, wow, this looks really good. It was only like 10 lights or something. It wasn't anything crazy, single story house. And these ladies walk by the street and they're like, oh my gosh, we love your house. It is beautiful. And I'm like, what about my lights? Like, that's what I'm looking at. And they're like, your landscaping is beautiful. And I'm looking at my landscape like, dude, the landscaping was free. It came with the house. This is the same landscape you have.
Same shit you guys all have.
Yeah. It's red bark mulch. It's crappy green plants that I tore out later. Like, it was not good. So that was kind of really cool experience for me because I paid to have some lighting. I didn't pay full price per se, but then I got to have that like immediate reaction from neighbors going, wow, look at that.
Yeah, it does. It changes everything on the outside of a house at night. It's like the house is not recognizable as the same house.
Yeah.
Or it's so distinguished, right? Like it just sets itself out in the neighborhood big time.
Yeah, so it was supposed to be a window cleaning dynasty. It transitioned to a landscape lighting business.
Did you at that moment where you're like, this is it, here we go, like this is all the runway we need, or what? Because at that time, I mean, I feel like even until I met you, I didn't even know what landscape lighting was. You didn't invent it, but damn near, it sounds like.
I almost did.
Somebody got to it just before you. But I mean, like, I didn't hear about it until I met you at ClipCon 20. I don't know what the hell year that was. 2020, 2019. Was that pre-COVID?
2020 or 2021? Yeah.
Okay, it was post-COVID.
Yeah, because I didn't even start this till after COVID.
Okay. But like, at what point were you like, holy shit, this is a untapped market? Like, there's nobody doing this, or so few people doing this. How do we get it into more places?
You know what? To be honest, so I remember I tell you that I got an MBA, not to like be like, oh, I'm educated and that's awesome. Like, just because I want to be the first in my family to get an education. It was like, I'm going to be the one that changes my, I'm not going to like steal cars and steal checks and go to prison. Okay.
Way to go.
I'm going to be that guy. And so I went there, and I thought I had this understanding of like how to start a business, even though we didn't study like entrepreneurship, but we studied corporate finance and studied manufacturing and
boring stuff like bookkeeping and accounting.
Yeah.
Super lame shit.
I'm pretty sure I might have cheated through those classes.
Highly recommended. I didn't, and look what happened to me. I'm stuck here doing this.
You do not want to learn this stuff, guys. Just hire Dan. But when I got down there, dude, I felt so almost embarrassed, because one of the things, anyone who's been to any type of business school knows what a SWOT analysis is. It's your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And like, why would I not do that before I go down there to understand, like, well, is landscape lighting like something we should look at? And what's the market cap? And like, how many competitors and what are they charging? Like, dude, I didn't do any research. I it was like $4,000. Let's sell lighting. Like, that was the market research. So when I got into it, and all of a sudden I start giving bids, and they go, oh yeah, well, there's this company and there's this, and I find out, dude, just like you thought it was new a few years ago, there was already companies that were doing landscape lighting for decades, like 20 years before I had started. And I was like, oh shit, like, should I be here? Like, should I be doing this? Like, how am I going to compete with these guys that know what they're doing? I clearly don't.
Yeah. Feel like a fraud. Feeling like fraud out here.
Yeah. So luckily, I'm pretty confident person. So like, my ignorance and my confidence together are what allowed me to just push through. If I would have done my research,
ignorance combined with my confidence, that's great. It's superpower.
No, but like, dude, if I would have done my research, I would not have started that business. And it would, I mean, I've made millions of dollars because I started it. So I just share that because, like, a lot of times, like, we want to sit there and learn and educate and and it's like that's the thing that could hold you back. Like, I guarantee if I would have known everything I know now, I would not have started it, because there was too much competition already. Every landscaper was doing it, electricians were doing it, there was landscape lighting companies doing millions of dollars, dedicated lighting companies. So that's intimidating. And I'm like, oh, I'll just get into something that's, not as competitive, or I'll go to another market that's not as competitive. And I'm just grateful that I didn't do that. That's all.
Yeah. You want to talk about somebody that's not competitive? Let's get Rob Anderson.
Yeah. No competition whatsoever. I like to eliminate it all.
What's up, Rob?
Compete against myself too much. What's up?
Rob, speaking of competition, now that Moana 2 is like out, do we need to get another duet karaoke song?
Probably.
Do we need to start working on our Chi Who? Have you watched it yet? Do we need to do Chi
Yes,
Who?
we have seen it. Yeah.
Okay. We'll start. Oh, now he just left.
That was a cool appearance.
Drops in. Just like, yeah. With the worst microphone. I don't know what microphone he's got over there, but it's like the worst one I've heard so far as a podcast host, which is a lot of them. Guys,
I thought you gave him the boot because his audio was terrible.
I should have, but I think his audio, I think just the world gave him the boot. The world gave him the boot. And he's got that brick wall behind him instead of his usual cords. Okay, let's bring him back in. Rob, are you back?
I'm back.
Do you have a different microphone? We can hear you. You just sound like you have a bad microphone is what you sound.
All right, let me switch this out.
Yeah, do it. I know you have a good microphone over there somewhere. I've seen you use it before. Look at that. Oh, damn. Look at he's got this really nice microphone, but he uses whatever the built-in microphone is.
Yeah, that's smart, efficient.
Joe, we do have a question for you here, Ryan. Joe wants to know any training out west this year, which is weird because Joe's out east, so I don't know why he's asking about training out west. I think he's just like trying to asking on behalf of everybody else. But what I know you're down. We got to get to Home Service Workshop and talk about what you got going on there. But give us a little like tour to Ryan of what you got going on this year, where you're all headed.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's probably too close. Orlando's too close to Joe, and definitely.
Yeah. Why would he want to go there? He could go all the way to California and cross the whole damn country.
Dude, this is crazy. Like anyone who knows me knows I've got like a big vision. I want to do big shit, but I'm also like being realistic with what I want. My oldest is 17. She's going to college this summer. I'm being super intentional with my time, and I've got an awesome lifestyle right now. And so I don't have a lot of stuff that I'm doing this year. I mean, Light It Up Expo is kind of like my main thing this year. We don't have any landscape lighting live scheduled. We've got, we're going to be doing a permanent thing with Jimmy with Omni in Utah at my house again. And then, and I don't know the date of that, May or something like that. And then we've got our Secret Summit event that'll be in September, but that's a members only event type thing. So yeah, like Light It Up Expo is like my thing this year. We've kind of scaled back, and I'm like, I guess I don't care about growth.
It is funny though. As you say that, I think that's an important recognition for all entrepreneurs, which is the life you're living has to dictate what you want to get out of the business at the phase that you're in. And when I restarted and started Best Damn Bookkeeping, I harnessed my inner Cole Sycophus. I know Rob knows Cole. Ryan, I don't know if you know Cole.
Yeah, I know Cole.
Cole was on the podcast, and he basically was like, this business is only here for me to hunt and fish. Doesn't have any kids, isn't married yet, but he's like, I started this business so that I didn't have a job, because a job would limit my hunting and fishing time because they would dictate when I had to work. And so this pressure washing business that I started, and now he does a lot of lighting, and he's getting into more permanent stuff, and he's just always grounded in now he might be flipping over because he turned down my invite to come to the Boundary Waters canoe area this year, and do some like a week out in the middle of nowhere canoeing and fishing. So I think he's getting his priorities screwed up now. But I think that is one of the benefits of being a business owner, is that you get to choose when it's the right time to push and when it's the right time to do family stuff. Yeah. And you can do both for so long, but you can't push both gas pedals all the time. And I know people that have, and they usually end up divorced, and their kids don't love them, right? Like they lose that relationship. And so I think it's super important to recognize exactly what you just said, Ryan, which is like, you just do the stuff you really want to do. Holy shit, look at this guy. Don Bischoff is in the house. Don, good to hear from you, man. It's been a hell of a long time since I heard from the Don. I still have Don's magnet of the Don Landscaping, him with his shovel. It's on my fridge. It's on my fridge, Don. Still got you up there, buddy. But I think that's wise of you, Ryan. I think it's wise to get the most juice out of your squeeze.
I've done it the other way too. I've done it where it's like all about business, and I'm doing this for the family. Trust me. In like 20 years, it's going to pay off. And like, that's the hard way. So all I do now is I just say what has to be true. Like what has to be true for me to do the things I want to do in my business and my personal life. Mm-hmm. And I've just learned to design my own dream business, my own dream life. And yeah, there's still some things where I'm like, oh, that would be cool to go to. But then that's all I think or say. I just move on. Like,
Yeah.
If I want to go, I'll go. I can tell my wife, like, hey, I'm going to head out. Are you cool? She's going to be like, that's totally fine. But I don't want to do all this stuff. I just want to do what I want to do.
You're sounding like Joe Devono, and I can tell you're sounding like Joe because the reason he wanted to know if you had any training out west this year was because he likes fly fishing.
Dude, Joe, just come to my house. Like, here's the thing. We just had, Orlando's boring. I just had Kenny Kaufman. He's in my program, but he was on my podcast yesterday. He flew out to Utah just because he wanted to come to Utah. I'm like, all my podcast guests are remote. We did it live here. And so, Joe, just come out. I can go fly fishing any day.
Yeah, we're here. We're out west. We're already out west.
The next event in out west is whenever Joe comes out west.
We did that. This is why Boob exists, the Business Owner Outdoor Badass Group, which is doing the ice fishing and the Boundary Waters canoe trip. Boob, Business Owner Outdoor Badasses. Haven't worked on the logo yet. Still got to.
I have a feeling I know what it'll look like. Yeah.
Like what?
I just have a feeling. I don't know. I mean,
okay.
Kind of like your invisible shoe.
Like feeling like with your hands, or what do you mean feeling? I like what kind of sense?
I know exactly. Like
I know
there's just so much potential.
Logo feels like. Yeah, I know exactly what this logo feels like. But that's why I started Boob, Business Outdoor Owner Badasses. So we can just go have an excuse to do business stuff and go fly fishing or go canoeing in the Boundary Waters or go ice fishing or whatever it is. It's super fun I think it's fun to do adventures together and be with other business owners. I just got back from being down with Joe in North Carolina. We were hog hunting. We shot a possum and a coon. We were out hog hunting. Yeah, we shot a poon is what we decided. We were going out for poon. We shot a poon. It was possum and a coon. I think we heard some hogs. I don't think we saw any hogs, but we had help that we were with JC, and then Trevor Steele came up and joined us. But it's just 4 business owner dudes doing stupid outdoor stuff.
That's rad.
And those are like the best experiences. Those are the most memorable ones. And
that is rad.
And you talk business, but you talk life and personal stuff and whatever else. Got to hang out with Angela and JC at their house because I booked my flight a day later than I was supposed to because I wasn't sure. And I was like, better bump it back a day just to give myself time in case we're on the hogs. Well, we weren't. So I just got to hang out with Angela and JC for a day. It was like perfect. But yeah, fly fishing in Utah. That's the next. That'll be a future Boob event. We'll do it.
Yeah, tell the boobs they're welcome.
The boobs are coming to Utah. Rob, hit us.
How's this voice sound? Is this better?
No, it just sounds
like
nothing.
Sick.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a long ways away. We can still hear you fine. It's not the worst thing, but it sounds like the microphone's not it is not the selected audio. You might need to change your
like a
settings.
Ferris Bueller, I'm sick voice, you know?
Could be that.
All right, I'll switch it around. See if I can.
He's moving things. Ryan, can
you hear me any better now?
Oh hell yeah, dude! Now you sound like you have a microphone in front of your face.
Hello, I'm no longer sick.
Yeah,
I can have a
monologue. Now I just sound like a normal dumbass. It's normal. just my normal dumbass self. What are you drinking over there, Rob? Is that a little bourbon? Bourbon on the rocks?
Yes.
Looks like bourbon on the rocks.
There we go. Good. It's screwball cut with some extra bourbon.
I didn't want to get it too peanut buttery, so I put some more bourbon in my bourbon.
Well, I got one. It was like, you go to a liquor store and it's like, we're selling this for 10 cents above cost. Like, all right, whatever. It's still alcohol. I got like it was like fireside s'more or something like that.
Making. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, cheap bourbon.
Yeah.
It was cheap bourbon.
Sign me up.
It had a lot of sugar. So
I do get it though. Like every once in a while, I want to cut my Busch Light with an IPA,
Or cut your Corona with a Busch Light.
With the lime. Yeah, Busch Light and a lime. Joe says you need to join our bourbon group. There's sweet raffles. They got sweet raffles. Especially
I thought I already was in the bourbon group.
Apparently not. Now you're in the baseline poor man's bourbon group. You got to get in the next echelon. You got to pay the higher dues.
Gotcha.
Ryan, do you on the lighting side, Ryan, do you see an end to the trajectory? Like there's been a lot of momentum in lighting. There's more people doing holiday lights. There's way more people doing landscape lighting. Obviously you're highly invested in lighting. and all of those things tend to have a run. Oh, Rob, yeah, get it, do it. Here we go. I like it.
Real true reality. Yeah, I have a green screen. It's blue.
The isolated background. Ryan, do you see like a trajectory, like a ceiling in it? And are we close to it? Or is it a lot of runway left for the industry?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like every industry has its like good times and like this is the time to make money, and then it gets saturated. I mean, dude, when I started my business in 2007, my wife's like, well, what are you going to do when everyone has landscape lighting? And I'm like, well, actually, that's a good question. I don't know what I'm going to do. But literally,
women are so practical.
Like, I know exactly. I'm like the voice of reason. You can go down any nice neighborhood and it's less than 5%. And in a lot of cases, less than 1% have professionally designed and installed landscape lighting.
Mm.
We're a long ways away from it. A long ways away. So I'm saying 5 to 10 year runway of like, guys, get it while it's good type thing. The old dogs that have been in the industry 30 years, they're like, oh, it's already, too saturated and all that. But
yeah,
they just don't know what they don't know. There was a time when most houses in the US didn't have irrigation systems, just sprinkler systems. Like that was like, oh, you got irrigation. Look at you, dog.
Yeah.
And then YouTube happened.
Yeah. Now everyone has it, right? So that's kind of how landscape lighting is going to be. And a lot of people are afraid of the growth, as like I said, especially the existing guys. But I'm telling you, like when you come into a market and you start investing more in advertising, and now you see it's more on people's minds, and they're like, oh, like this is why permanent lighting is blowing up, like because once you get past like 15-20% of saturation in a neighborhood, it's like wildfire.
Everybody goes, yep, everybody's got to have it.
And landscape lighting hasn't hit that yet. So it's just still like, wait, what's that? Oh, looks nice, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. Is everyone doing it? No, not everyone's doing it. Look around. Once we get to that point of saturation, it's just going to get lit, and it's going to happen.
I think holiday lights is getting there right now. It's there in some markets, but even in Minneapolis, which we have tons of really good installers, I still drive around and I'm like, man, in these really nice neighborhoods, 10 to 20% maybe have like clearly professionally done holiday lights. There's so many people still not doing it, but it feels like it's saturated. The amount of people here that are doing it well and making a lot of money doing it, you would think like, man, is there even a point to it? But when you go out and drive around, it's like, holy shit. There's a lot of people putting really shitty lights up themselves still in really nice neighborhoods, or just not putting any lights up. And it's like hitting the saturation point that we still haven't maxed out. And it feels like holiday lights, when we started doing holiday lights in like 2018, and I was like, man, it just feels like there's not much opportunity left. Like when we did it in 2018, it's like, I feel like we're late to the game. And now I look at it, I'm still like, man, there's so many people doing it, making a ton of money doing it. And I don't know where the end of the runway is. Don was worried that I was blowing him off. So I got to give Don a shout out because he made some comments. But I was too engaged in the discussion to hit his comments. So drink it straight, pussies. He didn't say that. That was I added the pussies.
It's in the fine print.
Yeah,
dude. I'll say as far as market saturation, we're going out and doing takedowns, and I realize so many of these neighborhoods, so many houses, and we have one client. And I'm like, all right, goal next year. Like, there's a couple houses that it's like, you have no neighbors, but all the ones that are in developments, we need to be doing 3, 4, 5 houses in every single one of those houses next year, or in those neighborhoods next year. It'll make takedowns better. We'll build that momentum. And it's, even though there's a ton more competition in it, we're still not scratching the surface. And that's just with Christmas lights. I mean, we're definitely dealing with some more competition locally, but these other areas, man, it's still educating people that it's even an option.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
And that's
go ahead, Ryan.
That's just the mindset. Like most people don't have the abundance mindset that there's enough for everyone. And if you were winning, that means you're taking it from me. And I get it, dude. I used to think like that, and until you experience like the opposite and you're like, no, like then you see that abundance mindset, dude, it's much more enjoyable too. Cause you're not worried about like, well, what if you're like, when I get to, like Rob could, with that strategy, like you said, not everyone's going to get the second, third, fourth, fifth job in that neighborhood. But
Mhm.
if enough people do, you could double or triple your business in one season.
Yeah. Well, and the beauty of it is that the efficiency that we would gain on that would be tremendous. You know,
Go work in one neighborhood for a day.
Yeah. I mean, I took down Dave Wyatt's Christmas lights, all of his clients. And the distance that those are spread out and the amount of money that's up there is just, it's insane. And I know he wasn't aggressive going after it. And it's like, dude, just in every spot where we stopped, plenty of money, plenty of nearby houses. You know, one of the neighborhoods was definitely that neighborhood that like everybody went all out. And it was still like, when I say everybody, it was like 15 out of like the 80 or 150 houses had Christmas lights. So
you can always offer the ditto package.
Mm-hmm.
Just get
those
ditto,
are cool.
Ditto written on the house with a big arrow. Don did come back and he said, "Ha ha ha, pussies." Now I did. All right, so we got
it was there.
And then I want to get into this. This is a good like transition here, Don. Thanks for getting it out there. But what about lights you don't take down? That's a new thing. And Ryan, you talked about that for a second here. I want to get into permanence too, because it's this bridge, and I think we're seeing it in Landscape Lighting Secrets, and I want to get back to that and what we got going on at Home Service Workshop. But there's definitely this bridge happening now between holiday lights and landscape lighting and permanent lights and roof lines, like fitting right in between, just lights that you don't have to take down. How are you seeing that that's going to be the new roof line lighting? Are you seeing that that's going to be part of landscape lighting, or is it still a holiday lighting thing? Is it always going to be an in-betweener? Like, what is it? How does it play?
Well, you guys don't know this, but when you come to Utah for boobs
or fly fishing boobs,
yeah, I'll take you by my neighbors. We're talking about inventing stuff that already was invented. My neighbors invented permanent lighting because they have C9 lights. They just leave up year round. Like, it's permanent lighting. Okay. Everyone is so cheap. Like, it's crazy. These people have been doing permanent lighting since the 80s. Like, they just need
C9
you just leave it up there until it completely falls apart and then say, honey,
yeah,
it's time to get some more new lights.
So yeah, we invented it. We're awesome. So and my neighborhood now, like everyone, like it's crazy. Like all the different manufacturers are all through this neighborhood, and it's catching on like wildfire. And it's literally started here. There's like 3 or 4 manufacturers in Utah. So if you are out like in the Midwest or East, I have clients in Landscape Lighting Secrets. They're like, yeah, no one does it here. I'm like, oh, dude, you are gonna die when you see it, because it's so. I don't know what it is, but people love it. Like right now, there's lights just changing colors. And I'm like, what is it? It's February 5th. Why is it red, white, and blue? Like, what's happening? Yeah. Why is it red and green? They love it. They freaking love it. Even if you don't like it, other people do. And it is going to be a massive thing. And it's catching on like wildfire because they get the saturation quick in a neighborhood. They're knocking doors. There was jellyfish and trim light in my neighborhood yesterday, and I got door hangers from each of them sitting on my door. Like, they are in saturation mode. And a lot of people would already say, oh, Utah's already saturated. It's like, no, they still have huge opportunity here. And it's easier to sell it here because all the FOMO, it's like, oh, my neighbors have it. Yeah, we should get that. It's harder to sell in the East right now because people don't know it's a thing yet.
Well, and that's something that, like, when we did our initial Christmas lights training, another company was from Northern Virginia, right near Maynard, and they went back and did 200 grand, and we did like 25,000. And it was like we were essentially establishing a market. People were like, we didn't even know it was an option just for regular lights, much less permanent installs. And I'll say this, with the amount of things that are coming out, we had somebody who it's for a cigarette outlet, right? So typically it's pretty cheap, trashy lights, and go out there, and I gave my price, and it's like, well, we'll give you $1,000 and we'll buy the supplies. And I'm like, all right, let's see the supplies. You know, it's February. $1,000 job. I can learn another set of lights, or be able to say, like, this is educating me on, these are crappy lights. So look at them. They're 24-inch spacing. The wires look like garbage. It's one gigantic line. They're like, but we wanted to go the roof line and then around 3 doors and 7 windows. It's like, you can't do this. It's going to look horrible going around it. So I was like, all right, well, you know what? Hey, while we've got this stuff, let me plug it in. Plug it in, and like 15 of the bulbs light up, and you can see that there's 2 or 3 of them that are already burnt and smoked. I'm like, the adhesive looks like garbage compared to light clip strip. It's like, so that this is where what I would say with all this, worrying about saturation, know those other products. We all want to bash Govee. If you're going to install lights, go buy some Govee lights and actually know with authority what you're going up against and what you're fighting. And, Ryan, you put out all the different, permanent lights or your landscaping lights. Like, here's the crappy thing that they're going to get to Lowe's. You can't just say big box store stuff sucks. You have to say, like, this is what they're trying to compare, our lights to, and this is how you're selling that. You have to explain it. You can't just say, well, those ones suck. Why? They look good. They have lights. Like, figure that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Joe said my demo board has other brands on it. I think that's a good way to do it too, is you can actually show it. What, Ryan, how much this is probably funny as a guy that helps coach landscape lighting companies, but I coach from the finance and the recruiting side. I don't know the lumen side of it and the fixture side of it. What if you have to rate give me a 1 to 10 rating, 10 being like utmost importance, 1 being like doesn't matter at all, 0 being like doesn't matter at all. You can give it a 0 at all.
-5.
Negative. Actually, new scale. 5 being it matters a lot, -5 being it doesn't matter a lot. 0 is meh. Instead of a 0 to 10, let's go 5 to -5. I like that scale better. Good point, Rob.
Can you just pop a dough
allowed as well?
Pop a dough? You want to pop a dough? 5 to -5. What's more important? Is it the bulb or the fixture? Give me a fixture 5 to -5, bulb 5 to -5 for like a landscape lighting classic uplight.
Yeah, I mean,
you keep talking out of your ass, Dan.
There's uplights, there's downlights.
I don't know how to give you it. So what do I tell you? Like
threads,
2?
Are the threads important, or is the filament more important?
But you asked me, you gave me a scale, and then you asked me a different question.
No, right? No, I felt like maybe
on a scale.
Ryan, you've been on this before, though, right?
5 to -5.
That's on me, but that's on
points
me.
Don't matter.
5 to -5. What's the importance of the fixture, and 5 to -5 in its own scale? But
let me reframe it. On a scale of -5 to 5, is it better? What matters more, the lamp or the light source or the fixture?
Not necessarily what matters more, just in and of itself. What's the importance of it? The what matters more will be relative when you compare the scores across the same, how you scored them.
The bulb, the lamp, the light source, whatever you want to call that, that is the most important thing.
Boom. So like a 4 on a scale of 5 to -5.
That's why I don't know how to rate that.
Do you want to go 0 to 10 to get a scale that you're more familiar with?
If we're doing golf, we want to be like -5.
We're not doing golf. We're doing lights.
You didn't say that.
I did say the higher the score, the better before I changed the scale. So I guess I could have reset it, but I just assumed that you knew where I was going. I assumed you read my mind. This is how my marriage works. I just assume
your marriage is very confusing.
That's where we're getting
very confusing. So on a scale of -5 to 5, what's more important? I'm going to say 4.
4. The lights are 4. How much? What's the fixture then? Is the fixture a 2, a 3, a 0?
I need to know the other variables. The fixtures are important. Yeah, they're a 2.
They're a 2.
What are the other variables?
What else you got? You got a transformer. You got wires. You got
Like, are we all? We're talking just like materials, or are we talking like customer service, or like?
I'm just talking materials right now, because the materials are, at the end of the day, the materials are only as good. Danny, you got to get back to bed. Danny's back in the house.
What's up, Danny?
It's an hour past your bedtime.
I know.
It's only 10:10.
Are you just laying there listening to me because my door is open and that's causing you not to sleep?
Dan, let's be really honest. Your voice carries a lot.
Dude, I'm so loud. All right.
Yes.
You get 5 minutes to hang out, Danny. You're back in the show.
Yes.
Danny, only if you got to get Dad another beer.
No, she didn't hear what you said, but I have 2 beers on standby here.
Danny's back. Welcome back to the show, Danny.
Back in the show. You better have something good to say. You better contribute now. You're live.
Danny, could you rate the importance of a bulb or fixture in the outdoor lighting phase from 100 to negative 3,000? What would you rate it?
I don't know.
Okay, see, that's the exact answer that Ryan gave.
Yeah, that was a good answer. I like her.
Don gave it a 4.
The light switch.
Don gave it a 4.
If it doesn't turn on, nothing else matters, right? The electricity is the most important part.
Yeah, now we could really be like, yeah, the transformer is the heart of the system, and technically without the power, I mean, what are you gonna do?
That's why I was trying to get you to rate them individually, because I didn't want it just to be like binary of this one's more important than that one.
What's the most important part of power washing? Water. If you ain't got water, you're doing nothing.
If you have water and a thumb, you got a good start.
Toothbrush.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Joe gave it a 3 under par. That's what he rated it. Don also was telling time. It's 9:10 here, Ryan. It's only 9:10.
Oh, thanks, Don. Thanks for making me feel like I don't know numbers, like we didn't already do that earlier in the show. Thanks, Don.
Yeah, we already covered that. I didn't read this one yet, but he says his brother lives in New York, had 12 inches of snow, and was mad because he didn't get his lights up for Christmas. Whole street had no lights. He's sold on it. I do think, like in Minnesota, we run into that too, where, I mean, we got to hang lights in October. If you wait till November, who knows? You might not get lights up. You might be just putting it on trees and bushes by November because shit could be totally snowed up. It's just
Did you see my video taking a 5-in-1 scraper and chipping the ice to get the lights out?
Oh no, we just wait till April here,
dude. So we don't usually deal with it when we got like, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches of snow, and it like jacked up our takedowns, and then it stayed like in the 20s. And they're like, we go out to this one, guys are like, oh, it's so frozen. I'm like, no. I'm here. We're getting this done. And like, we don't have a hammer. I've been using like a 5-in-1 and just like a pair of pliers. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. I have this breaker bar. So I'm literally smashing this with this breaker bar. Got it done. The lights are down.
So. Andy
won't be able to reuse them.
Yeah, but hey, that's what I told the guys. I was like, wait until
Andy says, wait until April gig. Now, Andy, this year you probably could have got them out in January again. Like it was cold, but we didn't really have any precipitation here. We maybe could have got them out sooner. We're
so
conditioned
when we
to
show
wait
up
till
for ice
April
fishing next week, is there actually like, do you guys have snow right now?
We did.
Nice.
We got a little bit of snow up north. We actually have tons of ice because when we don't have snow, we get tons of ice.
Yeah, we do have a lot of ice.
There we go.
Do you know? There we go, Danny. Good contribution. Do you remember how many inches of ice we figured we had last weekend when we were out there?
No.
I bet
it was like
two more than 2 feet of ice. Like that auger was churning for a while. Because when you don't have any snow on top of it, there's no insulation. That ice just builds and builds and builds. And we've had plenty of cold snaps, but when there's no snow on top of it, you just get some super thick ice. So yeah, we got no shortage of ice here. We do have a shortage of snow. Like we have 2 inches on the ground in Minneapolis right now.
That's what was crazy when we showed up. And it's like, crazy. I'm here to go ice fishing. Hi, where's the snow?
Yeah, I thought like Minnesota. I thought
we had 4 inches like that night.
So. Yeah, it comes. We'll get some. What? Let's talk a little home service workshop. Ryan, what do we? I believe you're for the Friday and Saturday of the home service workshop.
Yeah, well, actually, I've been advertising it as that, and I was like, crap, what am I doing? I'm screwing up. Everyone should come Thursday. We have a bonus day. Like, if you have a ticket to Light It Up Expo, you don't have to pay any more money. Come early because Thursday from 11 to 3, we're gonna give you lunch, so you don't have to pay for that. And it's the vendor hall, so there's gonna be people drinking beer. There's gonna be people talking. There's gonna be people doing stuff. That's what you want to do on Thursday. It's like the pregame for Light It Up Expo. So home service workshop is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Is the pre-gaming for the expo.
That's the pregame for the pregame.
Yes, exactly. So if you can make it till Thursday, that's when the the regular pregame happens.
There you go. So flying Thursday the 27th.
You could fly in Wednesday.
You can fly on Wednesday. I'm flying in Tuesday because the workshop starts Wednesday.
Yeah,
I think there's sales boost and what else is
$1 million admin boot camp.
Sales boost, $1 million admin starts Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there are people that are coming to Light It Up Expo, but they're sending someone to sales boost. They're sending their admin to the boot camp.
Yeah.
So the best thing is like for $1,000, you can get a ticket to everything. It's the all access pass. If you're like, well, I don't want to go to everything, then just buy one, but so the expo opens, or not even just the expo, but like all the vendor hall opens up Thursday from 11 to 3, and then 5 to 7 is cash bar. Unless you find
I'm glad you told me this because I didn't know that. I was just planning on being there the whole time, so I didn't pay attention to when the timing of things are. I just figured I'd be around vending.
Yeah, you need to be ready. You're gonna have to talk to people. Yeah.
Dan's already placed the pre-scheduled Instacart orders. They'll be there.
I'll be ready to go. We actually have a live home service happy hour podcast that we're doing.
I'm excited about that.
Main stage. Be fun. I gotta work on some shticks. I gotta work on some segments, some gimmicks for a live episode. Be fun.
Dan walks into a bar.
Three bush lights, please.
So Thursday,
what's your question?
Thursday is all doing the vendor hall. Friday, Saturday is Light It Up. It's going to be epic. So it's permanent lighting, landscape lighting, holiday lighting, which let's face it, if you're doing one of those, you're going to have clients ask you about these other things. So come, if you want to bolt on landscape lighting, attend that breakout, or holiday lighting or permanent lighting, it's definitely where you want to be.
Heck yeah. What do you have a rough agenda of what's in store, who's speaking, what you got going on at Light It Up?
Oh yeah, dude. I finally finalized it, and I'm probably going to change it again. So there's that.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
It's final draft number 7.
Yeah. So
as I tell my team all the time, everything is Danny, please stop. Everything is final until tomorrow. All
until it changes.
Jonathan Maynard in the house. Can't wait. I wish he was saying can't wait to come ice fishing, but for 2 years in a row now, he turned me down, the son of a gun. He has more important stuff to do than to catch world record crappies and get them mounted. Apparently, he caught one massive crappie, and he's like, "My work here is done. I'm out. Peacing out."
So here's the agenda. Friday, the keynote speaker is AC Lockyer.
Booyah!
Then I'll be speaking. I'm gonna lay down some fire. Does anyone know Bennett Grove?
Dude, Bennett's the man. I didn't know Bennett was coming.
Bennett Grove is speaking that morning.
I love that guy.
So
Danny,
that guy,
you don't know who that is?
Come on, Danny.
Come on.
I thought Danny would be the one that knew. Yeah.
I had a meeting with Bennett last week just to catch up with him. He and I were in the same Conquer group a long time ago and just haven't caught up. He was on the podcast a few years ago, and then I didn't keep up with him. But he's had all sorts of cool things happen, private equity things and all sorts of sweet stuff.
Huge exits with private equity. He and I are working on something that could potentially change the lighting industry forever. So he's going to talk a little bit about that and how to prepare your business for exit. It's going to be epic.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And just, if you guys don't know Bennett Grove, I mean, he used to coach for Conquer. He had a junk removal business. The average ticket was only like $453. Built it up to like $6 million. Sold it to private equity. Did it buy and build. Got other businesses involved. Crazy stuff. So to be able to learn from someone like that, it's going to be insane.
This is a microphone, Danny. So every time you touch it, everybody else can hear.
So you got to drop a sick beat and be like,
yeah. So don't touch stuff. Stop touching stuff.
Oh, that sounded legit. Was that Rob?
That was real good.
Here's mine.
Oh. But you didn't move your lips to make the noise. Angela walks into the
Danny likes the music.
When you're sleeping, this is all I do. I'm just here talking with other business nerds. We're just having tons of fun. You're asleep. Sucker.
And somehow your dad turns this into money. Huh? That's the amazing part of the world.
She likes it.
Now Facebook's going to confiscate the audio because you played that.
No, as long as you do it for less than like 3 seconds, we're good.
Oh, really? Oh, that's sweet. Just mash up.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that happen with you, Dan, with Gyrus? Does he like throw music behind it? I get copyright stuff all the time with my VA.
Yeah, I get copyright stuff.
How do we what are we doing wrong? Or like maybe we just stop all the music.
Facebook's just cracking down on it.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
Skip wanted to know, is it time for the Thug video? We had this is like true story. We had a client whose mom was a CPA and but like just not in tune with how the world worked. And so we were like trying to do his books, and he had 3 different businesses. So we're trying to do like multiple divisional stuff for him, like really complicated bookkeeping stuff. And she said to me, this got turned into a GIF, a Dan GIF. She said to me, she's like, I know you're just a finance person, so you probably don't understand this. And I was like, no, I have an accounting degree. And she's like, oh, I didn't know that. And I was like, yeah, I have a finance one too. And I did the CFA program. And then she just like shut up but it was on a recording because she was like trying to say I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. And I was like, no, ma'am, like I have all the degrees. And then I went and got another one, and you're an idiot. Like, this is what I do for a living, and I have a certain set of skills, and you need to shut.
Particular set of skills.
Yeah, you need to shut up right now, ma'am.
And it's Excel spreadsheets.
And then she just kind of shut up. She was like, oh. And so my team got their hands on the recording and then played that song and dropped like fake shades over my eyes and like a still shot. And that GIF lives. It's like just the clip of me saying, no, ma'am, I have a degree in that too. And I got one of these degrees. And then I did this one too.
Is it time for Operation Dinner Out?
Yeah. So yeah, I know what I'm doing here. Thug. We call it the Thug video. It lives on. The Thug video lives on. But that song takes me back. Thug song.
Well, I'm not going to keep playing it because then what if we get copyrighted?
Yeah, we can't get copyrighted. You just got to imagine. You just got to believe what it sounds like. All right, Danny, you hit your 5 minutes.
Okay.
Bye, Danny. See you in a couple days.
Bye.
Bye, Danny.
Shut the door on your way out so you don't have to listen to me as much.
But I'm not tired.
Go to bed. It's way past your bedtime. Shut the door on your way out, please. Normally, I'd say get Dad a beer, but I already got one.
What do we have here? Looky.
They got that. I got this handy koozie here that
look at that.
Samal might recognize.
Yeah.
It's a little bit see-through in the.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool looking, dude. All right, so real quick, like our we used to have our BNI group. Everybody said, screw it, we don't want to pay, $1,200 for that. So I was like, I'm done. And they're like, well, we've gone from 20 down to 5. You're number 5. How about we just make our own networking group? So it's now that networking group. But the guy who like makes our promotional products, and I'm talking to like social media marketing, I was like, every product you make for every company, you should post a picture of every single one of those things. He's like, yeah, I've never posted anything ever. It's like, yes, we know you're the old guy, but like, dude, you're missing so much opportunity. Like, this isn't even like nobody cares. Like, you tag the company, you tag your company, you post it, and it turns into dollars. It's like the most simple, basic money making thing. Just post pictures of what you do, dude. Get it done.
Sounds complicated.
That's all it takes. You guys want to see this Thug video? I pulled it up.
All right. Is it better? So, Dan, on a scale of like 5 to -5,
it's a 3. I'm gonna give it a 3.
Morchesters?
It's a 3.
Morchesters is a 5.
It's not it's not Morchester level. I wouldn't say it's Morchester level.
Well, Morchesters is like a 10 on the 5 to -5 scale.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Let's see if I can find it.
Especially after adjusting for inflation and technology.
Is this it? No, that's not it. What is it? Oh, here we go. Let's see if it'll find it. I'm trying to find the right window.
Yeah, because earlier you said you found it, but then you didn't.
Also share tab audio. Here we go. All right. Can you see it? You see it there? is screen
It's like
sharing.
QuickBooks.
Yeah, we were doing QuickBooks. Here you go. I think you'll be able to hear audio.
I know you don't have an accounting degree, but it's not a cool.
I do have an accounting degree.
Oh, I thought you had a finance degree. I'm sorry.
I got one of those too. That's it.
Hold
Doug
up.
video.
Wait, why are you not sharing
She
this?
was just trying to like tell you off, like you don't know what you're talking about. Is that basically
yeah.
like that's the gist
I didn't
of
even
it?
mention that I also got a major in econ. I fucking tripled up, bitch.
Actually, I have an
I got a
accounting
triple up.
degree.
Yeah, I have that, and I got that one, and I got that other one, and then I went back and got some more. So I
Wait,
didn't pull out all the stops.
Have you never shared that on social media?
Mm-mm.
To Rob's point earlier, what the hell?
It's a
Like,
good one, isn't it? It's
do
hilarious.
you know how to do stuff?
Well,
Because
I mean,
Rob does.
Dan, in all honesty, maybe it's on me for not noticing it or knowing it, but like when you got tagged, I'm like, hey, we need a CPA, and somebody's like, Dan. I was like, no, I use Dan for the bookkeeping part. Oh, hey, Rob. By the way, hey, it's Dan. We do tax stuff now too.
Yeah, I'm like, Rob, we do this stuff.
Like,
He has an
shouldn't
accounting
this have been
degree.
brought to my attention yesterday.
Rob, in every month-end email that we've sent you for like the last 4 months, it's mentioned that we now do tax services. So if you wanted to read the emails that we send you every month, you would know that we did that. Oh,
As the CEO, I don't want to read any emails ever.
And I personally sent out 2 email blasts that said, hey, everybody, this is a fun templated email from Dan that you're all going to get. And then I told you about our tax services. So you had a couple chances to know that we did taxes. But yeah, we got a tax guy now. Andy says, play it again. Skip says,
So
I have the master copy of that video in a vault.
Yes, Skip, will you share that online? Because I'm not sure Dan's going to, but I'll probably share it at least once a week on my profile.
It was just like, what'd you say? Like there was, I could only laugh. I was like, I know you don't have an accounting degree. It's like, lady, friggin' idiot.
I currently have 20,590 unread emails.
We know at least 2 of those are.
There. All right.
Yeah.
For Barry says, man, I missed it. I'm gonna give it one more time. I'll do one more time here. I'm going for it. We're gonna do one
This is
more
gonna
time.
copyright. This is gonna copyright the shit out of you.
This is gonna bonk this
Drivers,
episode.
just go ahead and make
You're
sure
playing
that you
with fire here,
add
Dan.
the song.
Here we go.
And they won't even want to
Da-da-da-da.
listen to the whole thing.
This one's just for Barry, and only because I want Barry to come on the show. But he's out. He works a lot of nights. I got to get Barry on here. All right, y'all ready? We're doing it one more time here.
I know you don't have an accounting degree, but it's not a cool.
I do have an accounting degree. Thank
Oh, I
you.
thought you had a finance degree. I'm sorry.
Got one of those too. Snoop Dogg. The sunglasses, man. The sunglasses.
So was she fired like that day or like within the week, or did she just like walk away and say, I'm
that
done?
was my client's mom, and they fired us because they wouldn't follow our rules. Like we were trying to help them out, but they didn't understand how accounting
that's
worked.
not why they fired you. They fired you because you got lippy, and you
That
said I
might
got
be
one
it.
of those too.
That might be it.
You
In
dropped
some
the
cases,
degree.
not everybody's meant to be your client, but they just didn't they didn't know how to run their business. They were a wreck. And
Got one of those too.
yeah, I got one of those too.
But that financing degree, it really means that financing degree.
Oh, you had a financing degree.
That finance degree really means that I know how to run a business.
Yeah.
No.
I love that
Most
you
of the
held your
people that I
ground.
was in business school with couldn't operate just a candy vending machine. Like it was ridiculous. Like, well, daddy told me to go here and get a business degree. You don't know how to the basics of profit. Like, come on.
Da 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 da.
Your degrees mean nothing to me. I have a particular set of skills.
I still think it's funny. Megan Likes gave me a hard time about it, but like I did the CFA program, but I would not pay for the letters because I was like, nobody gives a shit about a CFA. Like CPA, yep, use those letters, right? Like people know what that means and give a shit about it. CFA, I would argue, and I think Megan would actually agree, like the CFA is considered a harder sequence of tests to pass. and it takes 3 years to do it at a minimum. Most people, like, there's a 6% chance or whatever mathematically that you get through all 3 of them in the first 3 tries. If you don't, it's like a year to wait to pass it again. And I cranked all 3 of them out and got through it. And then they're like, okay, pay us. And I was like, hell no. Like, if there's one thing I've learned from studying all 3 of these is that the ROI on paying for these things isn't worth it unless you're like trading in a hedge fund. And so why would I want those letters after my name? It's like, what you taught me is that I don't want to be a CFA, but thanks for the education.
Yeah, no one wants CFA. I don't even know what that is. I literally, when you say that, I think of
Chick-fil-A. It's Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I'm like, it actually, so here's what was,
I think I'm like, I'm a Chick-fil-A. I'm a CFA.
I've got an CFA. I have the app, baby.
Yeah. Like,
I got that app.
Let me see if I'm a CFA real quick.
Here's the super pretentious.
What level of CFA are you, Ryan?
That's what I'm looking up. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. How many rewards points do you have? That's how you know. The really pretentious piece of it is it stands for. It's not a like if you hear CPA, you're like, oh, certified public accountant. And so if you hear CFA, you're like certified financial analyst or something. No, it stands for chartered financial analyst. Like they got this like pretentious thing, and there's all these like rules around how you can use it. Like you can't say, and this is actually one of the reasons why I didn't pay for the letters. You can't say I'm a CFA, or you lose it. Can't use it like that. You have to say I'm a chartered financial analyst, or I have passed the chartered. I was like, this is the fucking stupidest thing. Like, I appreciate the education, but like, you guys are country club snobs that all have your thumbs up each other's butts and you're sniffing your own farts. And I'm not paying for your letters, but thanks for the education. That's neat. So anyway, Rob's in the house. Rob, how the hell's your eyeball doing? This is a different Rob. Robert, this is Robert. Rob, you're Rob.
I was like, my eyeball.
We already, Rob.
We just acknowledged Rob's in the house.
Rob,
like
Robert is in the house. Robert,
I gotta get going. Why are we introducing Rob right now?
Rob 2.0. Rob 2.0 was supposed to come on the podcast last night, and he friggin' squirted gathering in his eyeball.
That was Rob.
That Rob was supposed to be on last night. That was like our fourth try, Rob, of doing a podcast. Chime in the comments.
Is he still on? You think he's still listening?
I don't know. We'll find out. Robert, are you still listening? How many times do we try? Now we're scheduled for March 19th. We got it on the calendar.
I got to tell him something, because this is what I do with my kids. Rob, don't pour gas in your eye.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone ever told him that.
It's not good.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
So, but now he knows. So now we can hold him accountable. Because before no one had told him.
That's right.
But I mean, it's a lesson he's learned permanently.
I don't see him doing it again. See him?
It's like putting your finger in an outlet, touching a hot stove, pouring gas in your eye
at the same time.
But
you do it, yeah. Or trying to
that I would try.
It goes right along with trying to rewire an outlet under your sink by your garbage disposal and not turning the breaker off.
Dude, we started watching Home Improvement with the kids tonight. Yeah. Throwing back to like the horrible graphics and everything else. It's like, oh, yeah, honey, I just put in a massive motor into the dishwasher. Let me shoot some plates out of the thing.
Home Improvement was good. That was a hell of a show.
Dude, it's hilarious watching it, and like just how much fun they had making those episodes. It's like watching an SNL skit just be like with Jimmy Fallon, where he's just busting out laughing every 5 seconds. Like, dude, you're supposed to be serious. Yeah. The goal is to make other people laugh, not you.
Jimmy was the worst about, but he had a knack of like when he laughed, you laughed too. Like that was your cue to know it was funny. It is nice when they break character a little bit. It makes it a little bit extra funny. If they're too serious, it's hard to tell when it's supposed to be funny. But when they start cracking up, it makes everybody crack up.
Yeah,
I don't know if there'll ever be another like Home Improvement or Seinfeld. Like those types of sitcoms were at another level. I don't know if we'll ever have
how Seinfeld made a resurgence at the at the inauguration.
Oh, did?
It's not a blouse.
I didn't know that. I didn't see this.
Well, because
whatever her name is.
Yeah, Bezos's wife or girlfriend or whatever, and sit next to Zuckerberg, and Zuckerberg's checking it out, and It's like going back to the episode where the girl's like, I've just got a sports coat and a bra, and she's like,
The heir of
not
the
bra."
Henry the candy
Yeah.
bar franchise.
Yeah. There we go.
I know the gal. Is that the Dolores gal or is that a different gal? It might have been a different gal. That was the no bra gal. The corset. Don says the corset. Corset. Home service workshop. Anyway, we're back to home service workshop. We're coming back.
It's like just where we started.
Yeah, we're coming back. We got.
I have never derailed any conversations on this show ever.
Yeah, no, it's never happened. This is actually the first time. This is actually the first time we've gone off topic and come back. But I'm bringing us back right now.
I apologize, guys. I didn't mean to distract you.
Yeah. Who knows? What are we doing here? What's this show about? Oh yeah, it's happy hour. Anything goes. Thursday, Feb 27th. For sure, you're there by that date for Lighted Up Expo. If you want to catch the whole kit and caboodle, if you want to get the whole package, get sales booths, Lighted Up Expo, Responsicon, admin boot camp. I didn't $1 Million Admin. PWMCA pressure washing convention is there. We got 5 in 1. It's $1,000. Ryan said right around $1,000. I'm flying in Tuesday the 25th.
Yep.
I'm not flying out till Sunday the 2nd. So if you want to drink Busch Lights with me, you got like a whole damn week to do it. Busch Lights on me. Rob, when are you coming down? I think Rob's my roommate. Rob, we're rooming, right?
Tuesday.
You're coming down Tuesday. You're staying for the whole stretch.
I'm leaving, I think, Saturday night.
All right. I guess I'll have to drink alone for a day, or drink with other people for a day.
Yeah. Be like, well, now we can talk about that guy. You'll have actually some leftover beers at that point if I haven't done my job well. So
there won't be any left over.
I doubt it. Yeah, I think all the beers will be gone. I'll be like, damn it!
Like, the question will be like, how many times have you had to reorder beer?
Yeah. We'll keep them flowing. Ryan, you got any? You mentioned Bennett Grove coming. Any expectations for you on the Lighted Up Expo? Any new things you got going on? Any like teasers you got for the folks that are thinking about coming but aren't sure about Lighted Up Expo or Landscape Lighting Secrets or whatever the case on?
Yeah, no, dude, that was just day one. Then we got Josh Latimer. He's coming and speaking on day 2.
Oh hell yeah!
I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He's this guy. We found him on the street. He's like, everything is marketing. Marketing is everything. And so we're like, that's actually kind of smart.
That sounds neat. Let's go. You want to come talk?
He's
I heard he was a window cleaner at one time in his life.
Dan, did you come up? Dan's talking, and I was like, okay, we got to come up with a sexy name. What are you going to talk about?
Numbers. We should just call it that. Sexy name. Numbers.
Sexy name. Insert sexy name here.
Insert sexy.
But you are going to be talking about, making data-driven decisions.
Insert formula here.
Sean Day's going to be talking about recruiting. I told you guys about Kenny Kaufman, who came into town to be on my podcast. He's going to talk about scaling his business. He owns 10 different locations of outdoor lighting perspectives. It's a big franchise. But he owns 10 locations. Yeah,
I didn't know that. We on our team's call today for Landscape Lighting Secrets, we were talking about Kenny. I've never met him before, so I can't put a face with the name. But we were talking about his maintenance program and how he does maintenance stuff, and then how to reward employees and pay employees in alignment with maintenance programs. So his name came up multiple times on the team's call today.
He's a stud. I always talk about operator to owner. Like, he truly is an owner of his business. He doesn't do the bullshit that we deal with like sales and bidding. And like, he literally owns these businesses and has 4 GMs in all these locations. So that's going to be epic. And then of course we got the breakouts. So if someone wants some more hands-on application, like, I think I want to get into landscape lighting. I'm not doing more landscape lighting lives, at least this year. So if you want to come, this is it. Or if you want to bolt on holiday lighting or you want to bolt on permanent lighting, you can attend one of those. So it's going to be an epic show. If you're in the lighting industry, anything outdoor lighting, or you want to be in it, this is the place where everyone's going to be mixing it up.
Hell yeah. Do you find there's a pipeline of like holiday light guys that are thinking, oh man, holiday lights work so well, I need to figure out this landscape lighting thing because I lose all my guys? I gotta imagine there's some pipeline of that, but then there's also just the natural, like, hey, I'm going to get in the home service space, and this landscape lighting thing is sexy, bigger ticket, good profit margins. I think I want to try that. Where do you see when you're getting people into landscape lighting secrets, where are they coming from? What's the catalyst to get them thinking about landscape lighting versus, hey, we thought we were going to take over the world in window cleaning, and my brother happened to stumble into the wrong place at the wrong time and heard about landscape lighting, and we started a business doing it.
Yeah, it's definitely like, it's kind of funny because my journey went from window cleaning to Christmas lights to landscape lights, and that's exactly what's happening. Like all these people, because it's pretty easy to like get a pressure washer or clean windows. Like there's a low barrier to entry there, and so everyone starts that business just because it's easy, and then they learn about Christmas lights, and it solves this labor, or like I need to like keep my guys working.
Yep,
seasonality, and they make a ton of money. They'll go make $100,000 to $300,000 in just a couple short months. So then they're like, well, damn, how do I keep these guys busy? Well, the obvious answer is landscape lighting. So it's kind of interesting how like almost my same history, my brother and I kind of doing it. It's like that's just kind of a natural approach to business. Even though, like, if someone would just do their research, like the easier way is just to start a landscape lighting business first. But it's just not as
right at
obvious.
it. Go right to it.
Well, and I think like as one of those people, we kind of went from power washing to then the gold rush, which we've talked about a couple times, was jump in on Christmas lights. And then the next gold rush, so many people were looking at concrete coatings and landscape lighting. And I looked at those two and said, well, if I screw up on landscape lighting, I need to run some new wires, maybe adjust a fixture or two. If you screw up on a floor, you've went from making some profit to you just
lost $5,000.
You just donated your time and a few grand to learn a lot. And it's that, like, for us, we won't get into paper sealing because same thing. Like if we screw up a house wash, oh no, guys, go over there and spray some more bleach. It'll be okay. Or we got to replace a couple plants. Like that's where when we look at it, it's like higher level technician, keeping them, February, like if we make the landscape lighting stuff happen, I keep saying, I was like, I want to know none of this. I need a service manager and sales reps and people that know how to do this. It needs to not be dependent on me. But then that's, let's do our maintenance in March and September. Let's get those people set up on that kind of stuff. Cause that's where we need that extra money. And then, we could retain more people,
Yeah.
So
March and Sep, baby. Ryan, what, you've changed landscape lighting secrets a little bit in the coaching realm and like how you lay out the program. Before we wrap up tonight, give everybody like the nuts and the bolts of what landscape lighting secrets is, how they get involved in it, with the different elements and different factors of how they can participate. Give us a little rundown of what you got going on there.
Yeah, well, the reason it changed is because when I first launched it, I didn't know what I was doing. It was like, let's see if this will work. And it worked. I mean, lots of people, we have so many, everyone like in there, like so many success stories of people coming in and just like double, tripling their business, like doing crazy stuff. But now we're much more intentional. We have a roadmap. Like, hey, when you come in, these are the challenges you're going to face. Here's a checklist. We have 100 steps to success. If you follow the roadmap, it works. And we had people trying to like, even though we kind of had it, we didn't have it. Like here's the roadmap. We told them like what to do, but they needed step by step. So we have that now. And what's cool about it now is we have, and you're part of this, we have like a library of options. So you can't get stuck now. Like before, like there was still some opportunity where like, hey, we led the horse to the water. We can't make you drink. Now there's weekly calls. I mean, we have sales calls, marketing calls, finance calls, recruiting calls, install calls, design calls. There's something going on every single week, multiple times a week. So you can jump on there and be like, oh man, I just landed this job. I have no idea what I'm doing. What lights do I use? Where do I put them? Mm-hmm. You'll get on a live call with someone who's been in the industry over 20 years to help you figure that out, So it's just an awesome thing. We're kind of getting away from like the terminology coaching because a lot of people are like there's just like, it's almost like a used car salesman and coaches. They're like in the same bucket now.
Yeah.
And it's much more than that. Like it's not about Ryan Lee. It's not about a coach. It's about a community. And that's what Landscape Lighting Secrets is. We get on these calls, and a lot of times, and you've seen this, it's these new guys, and they've never installed a landscape light in their life, and they're bringing in this energy, and they're bringing in this fire and these ideas and the innovation that the old dogs don't have. So really, we're building a community. It's a training platform and community for anyone looking to grow their lighting business.
Yeah. I like the topic specific nature of the calls too, because it keeps everybody aligned. I had the teams call today, and we started going, and I'll see a lot of repeat visitors, see a lot of guys that are generally interested in like getting on and absorbing everything they can. And for a second I had to be like, what the hell call are we on today? Which one is it? Like, let me make sure I'm talking. Okay, we get the teams call. And it's funny because so many topics transcend so many areas, right? And I know recruiting stuff and I know finance stuff. And to me, they're so interlinked, right? You can't do good financially if you don't have really good employees and really good culture. The two are so hand in hand. And if somebody's struggling financially, I'm usually like, well, how's your recruiting? If your recruiting sucks and your culture sucks and you can't keep the right employees, your finances will suck. And if your finances are good, I can usually tell you that you have good employees and good managers. Like you've got that system figured out. And the two go so hand in hand that the team's call melts into the finance call in a lot of cases in my mind. But today we got in some cool conversations. I was telling you earlier about like maintenance contracts. And so we started getting into sales stuff, and I was like, back it up. Who's doing the maintenance? How are you paying them? Right. And how are you guaranteeing your profit margin? And how are you like delivering that maintenance? And how's the maintenance different if it's a person that you did the install versus a client that just came to you and said, hey, I got this lighting system built in, right? And so it's kind of cool to like keep it grounded and always get back to the function of the call, right? And it can tail into a whole bunch of different avenues, but we always stay grounded in what we're there trying to solve, which element we're trying to solve. And so I like the topic base versus just a coaching call of here's Dan and Dan's a coach and absorb the shit Dan knows. It's like, here's what we're doing today.
And that's what version 1 was, you know, accountability and coaches and stuff like that. But we've found over the last 3-4 years that we've been doing it is we know what works now. We know like what makes someone come into this and just take off and like get so much traction. Whereas like these guys aren't. So that's the roadmap I'm talking about. And so we have like when you come in your first year, we have it organized by levels, almost like getting a degree. So you start at Spark, then you move up to Ignite, then you move to Luminary, then you're a lighting legend. And like when you're new in landscape lighting, you have different problems than the lighting legend does that's doing $5-6 million a year. Like they're just different problems. So those calls are specific to like, listen, you're just going to go make a ton of money right now. And you're going to go create chaos and create things to break. And we're going to try to prevent some of them from breaking, but some of them you just got to like make enough money to break them.
Break it. Yeah.
And then that's when you're going to show up to the recruiting call. That's when you show up to the finance call. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see how it's working and coming together.
Heck yeah. All right, guys. One more time. Home Service Workshop, Landscape, the Lighted Up Expo is Friday and Saturday, the 28th of February and the 1st of March. But fly in on the 27th and come and hang out. There's all kinds of cool shit. Fly in the morning of the 27th if you're there for Lighted Up Expo. Or
come Tuesday, do the whole thing.
Come Tuesday and do the whole thing. We got sales boost. We got the admin boot camp. We got PWMCA for people that want to do pressure washing. We got response account.
Yeah, Rob and Dan drinking beers.
You got Rob and Dan drinking beers.
Questions.
We're there all day. We're there all day, every day. We'll be drinking beer. I mean, I'll be drinking beers all day, every day. That's just kind of what I do.
You know this.
So one thing I'm good at. But come and have fun. It's like the show of the entire spring season. If you don't have a ticket yet and you're debating like, should I go to a trade show or not this year? This is the one. This is the show you got to be at. You got to be there.
If has anyone made it this far? Like, do we have anyone listening?
Yeah, we got a handful of people still listening. That maybe
if there's anyone still listening and you want to come, I will hook you up. Send me a DM, send me a message, and I'll hook you up with a promo code that'll save you some cash.
Oh, damn. You got promo codes? Well, I want a promo code.
I'll text you.
Can I get Ryan's? And then I can give out Ryan's promo code.
The reason I would give it out now, but I want to see like, is it just your daughter listening or like who's listening? So
I wonder if she knows how to. I don't think she knows how to get on to. Don's still here. Don's coming. Don's
If
in.
Don, yeah, if he messages me, then I'll know that you didn't make a fake profile called Don Bischoff. You know,
Don Bischoff.
But yeah, send me a DM. I'll hook you guys up with a promo code that'll save you some money. And
Andy's in.
yes, Andy. Real people. You guys are awesome for hanging out. So you deserve to be rewarded accordingly. I'll hook you up.
Booyah. Booyah.
Dan, I'll message you too.
Yeah, can I come?
Well, you're coming, but I
already sponsored it. I think I sponsored it. I think I'm already there. Yeah. Can I still come?
I'll give you the promo code if you want to share it with a few people. That's cool. Yeah.
I'll share it around. I'll share it around.
The promo code is Dan is cool.
No,
Rob likes beer.
My favorite thing actually is when we get a new bookkeeping client and I'm like, hey, create a read-only user ID for your bank account for us.
Mm-hmm.
When it's somebody that knows who I am, the password is usually like Dan is gay, Dan sucks, some obligatory thing that my team is going to get, right? I'm not even the one that's going to get it, but they just like to throw some shit in there.
Bush Light.
It creates a good culture internally. Like when our clients make fun of Dan, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
That was the fun part about
the same thing.
Sales Boost last year. We're on and Dan and I are rooming together, and he's doing good fit calls with all Hey, do you guys want to come work with me? I'm kind of crazy. Oh, by the way, this is Rob. He's gonna verify that I am kind of crazy, and we're just drinking beer right now. Are you guys not? You're drinking coffee? You could have a beer. I'm not gonna judge you. Like,
on that call, I'm pretty sure Amy was one of the people that was on that call who now does our training. She's an account manager for us that does our training, and I think I recruited her on that call where you were in the background. Sweet. That was her first.
Then I deserve credit for closing her, because I mean
you were in the background there making an impression, and I was like, this is one of our clients. Like, this is what they're like. So this is what you're gonna have to deal with, is people behaving like this guy and me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're stuck working for me, but you're gonna have to do the work for this guy.
Yeah.
So
I finally found the email you sent, by the way.
Skip wanted to know, does that include the Thugs employees? Can Skip use the discount code?
Well, dude, Andy is hitting me up, so I'm giving him the discount code right now. Andy, do not share that publicly, because it'll get me in trouble.
Don't do it. Can't do that. Don wanted to know, where is it? Is it warm where this is being held? It's in Orlando, Don. It's in Orlando.
But hey, it did snow in Orlando recently.
Allegedly, it might be warm. Could be warm.
No problem.
I could guarantee you that it will be warmer in Orlando than it is where you are if you don't live in Orlando.
It's in Cincinnati, so it'll be warm. It'll be warmer in Orlando. Pretty much, no doubt. No doubt. Temp change. Fellas, you got anything left in the tank? What do you got going on? Anything cool that we missed?
I got nothing.
We're building a building next week. That's kind of cool.
Oh, are you building?
Yeah.
What are you gonna, when you build it, are you gonna put a bunch of cords behind your desk?
No. This will just be for parking trucks inside.
Oh, damn. So it won't be cool.
Yeah, it's not a beer building.
No, it's not a beer building.
Okay.
Not a beer. So Ryan, we bought a former restaurant location, right? And this lady calls and she's like, I'd like to buy everything that's left. How much for it? And it's like, no. Everything that's left, and I've already dealt with you. I know this is not a clear. You're gonna come in and like, but I gave you $10,000. I get to take your walls and your light bulbs and everything. I get to take everything. You said everything that was left is for 10 grand. And she's like, so we got our liquor license. Yeah. Do you have a kegerator? I was like, yeah, actually, I put 2 of those on the highway like a year and a half ago because they wouldn't keep stuff. Oh yeah, I can't do the same thing anymore either. I was like, lady, she asked if she could offer post-dated checks to us to pay for equipment. I was like, she's like,
smart.
Is that illegal? I don't know. And I was like, no. See, I'm trying to.
It's not illegal. You're just not going to get the money.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to get the money.
Why don't you just rip those ones up and write some new ones?
You want to do a payment plan?
It's like a legal way to rip someone off.
Yeah. I was like, no. I would like you to pay me in real American dollars for the things that you want. Oh, well, it'd be a future thing. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
you go get the money.
In the future, you give me real dollars, and then I will give you the things that you want in the future, not
if I still have them
Rob.
because nobody else bought them. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll fix up that room so there won't be the Ethernet cords at some point.
No, man.
It'll look more legit than the blue thing behind me.
I like it both. I like them both. What blue thing? There's a brick wall behind you besides over the one shoulder.
I thought when I saw his real background that was the fake background.
I put this cluttered office space behind me.
I put this attic.
That's cool.
This attic, it's so amazing.
Yeah, I got this blue screen behind me, and on the blue screen I put a fake blue screen.
Would it
and
look
a cluttered
truly
office
legit?
Yeah, like I thought that was
They
pretty
just have a
innovative.
shit show behind me.
Yeah. Living the life, living the life.
Well, thanks for having me, Dan. I appreciate it, man. Good chatting with you. Good chatting with you, Rob. I'm kind of jealous that I'm not going ice fishing, but you've asked me before, and I'm like, yeah, I don't hang out with dirty, sweaty men and sleep in the same bed and stuff.
And
so
just in a bunkhouse full of farts.
yeah,
Not too late.
Fart tennis.
You
I'm
can
so
still
bougie.
You can
It's
still
a real
come if you
sport.
want to hang out in a fish house full of farts.
In
And
all
for
honesty,
you-
Dan, I think we should. I just created this, but fart tennis. We need to keep track.
we can get a
Yeah, I'm
scoreboard
kind of glad
going
I'm
for
not
fart
going
tennis
now.
this
I mean, I
time.
was already glad before,
Yeah.
but I'm gladder.
I'm glad.
I'm more Gladys
flattered.
that I'm
I'm now
not there for
flattered.
the fart tennis match.
I
Yeah.
can't handle it, guys. I got this weird. I like. I'm gonna be using hand sanitizer in front of you guys in Orlando. You'll see. It's just weird. So
I do have 2 bottles of hand sanitizer in the fish house, so that when you go outside and pee and you come in, at least we call it like penis chips, not like because everybody's reaching in the same bag of fucking chips, right? Like at least you're not all eating penis chips. You know, like fucking sanitize your hands when you come in the fish house, yo. Got hands.
I don't ever want to eat penis chips. Like, that's just one of my goals. You know?
But you know what I mean?
Again, just go ahead and just register that trade name, register for the website.
This isn't the thing I invented. As much as Ryan wants to think he invented window cleaning,
You just invented it. You totally just
not
invented it.
this is the first place you heard it. You didn't hear it from, you heard it from me first, but I didn't invent it. I heard it from a gal who was it was just like dudes
From a
and wives
gal?
out fishing, and she's like, no, I don't, like, because all of us dudes are peeing over the side of the boat, right? And then we're all digging in the same bag of chips. And she's just like, I don't want your guys fucking penis chips. And we're like, yeah, that's a good point. Like we're all just drinking and eating and peeing and everybody's eating penis chips. So.
Yeah, like I literally she gets me. Like I don't want to eat penis chips ever, whether I like you or not. I'm just not into that shit.
Yeah, so sanitize your damn hands because we all ain't eating penis chips. That's the rule.
I do, but others don't.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Everybody got to.
Sanitizer doesn't last
the
long
rules
enough.
in the fish house
Get that
rules.
chip and some sanitizer and then eat that.
Fish house rules. In fart tennis, you have 1 minute to send a return or you lose the point, and sanitize your damn hands.
Yeah.
Done.
Oh my god.
2 rules.
Right. We get together. So one of the guys who went with us last year, I meet up with him up in Philly and with another power washing guy. And he's like, yeah, man. He's like, so how was ice fishing? He's like, well, I pissed my pants.
What?
Because in the one ice house, you can sit, there's the toilet seat and there's like a 6-inch gap between that and the 5-gallon bucket below. And at home, you don't have that when you're sitting on.
And so it just like peed
into his pants.
Yeah.
But that's
He was trying to be responsible too. That's what's sad.
We're getting together and it's like, so yeah, man, how was ice fishing? He's like, well, I pissed my pants. He's like, no, not like I caught some fish. It was awesome. We learned a lot. It was a great time. I pissed my pants.
Nailed it.
And as far as I
That's the
know,
one
he was completely
takeaway.
sober when he told the guy that. He's like, well, that's the highlight of the trip.
Glass half empty. That's a glass half empty approach. But there's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of cool
I do want to thank you guys because I was starting to think like, oh, that would be cool to just be out there with the guys and do shit. But now I'm really grateful I'm not going because of those 2 stories.
Just wait till you hear the shit my pants story. The piss your pants is one thing. The shit your pants is a whole nother level.
Yeah.
It's out there. There's stories out there. what happens in the fish house stays in the fish house until it doesn't.
So for both of y'all, it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we go? Like, do I have to ask permission? What is going on?
Peace
Again,
out,
this is
y'all.
where-
That's
This
a
is
wrap.
where early on I said Dan and I would do like the regular bookkeeping beer and BS, and then it was
We'll
like,
do
all
a
right,
bonus episode.
well we've had a
during the
6-pack each,
episode?
so now we're gonna stop. So it's a different recording that we could easily delete and not
We
lose some of
started
the value, and then we're gonna just bullshit the rest of the time.
So can I go or no? Like, do I
Yeah, I
have
think
permission?
Yeah, Brian, you are free to
we
move about
finished
the
it.
country.
We wrapped it up. Home service homies, business nerds, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. Marathon episode as always. You guys know what to do. Work smarter
This guy.
and harder. Get your asses to Home Service Workshop, homeserviceworkshop.com. We'll see you at the Lighted Up Expo. That's the Friday and Saturday, but flying early Thursday, so you have time to drink beer with Rob and I, or come in Tuesday and hang out the whole time. Bush lights are on. Dan, peace out.
See you guys.
Later.
Bye, Ryan.
Bye.